is actually what they are fearful of, is my authenticity, because it rings true with every single American. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. Baby, because these people, they are crazy, because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they get caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers, interns, all the things. On-campus mailboxes. And at that time, my school hired the Cochran firm. And there was a lawyer who graduated from University.
To be a senator, you need to be coherent.
You're not. You're not.
You not?
We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. I want the American people to know that when you stand up to a bully, you win. Do not back down. Do not bend. And I'm going to be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out, all right? But at the end of the day, I am who I am, and I am authentic.
Well, I think it is safe to say that JasMEAN Crockett's political career is officially over.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yep, I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm probably going to do a little bit of celebrating tonight. I might actually sink back a couple of beers because of this, and I'm not a big drinker that much anymore. But I just might actually have cause to celebrate, because I think this is a point of rejoicing. I mean, not so much that James Talarico won, but really more that old JasMEAN Crockett ended up losing. And of course she ended up losing because she got overconfident. She got cocky. And well, that's just kind of what happens when you are the overcat, because you end up becoming the very cocky, overconfident. You just think, oh, I'm going to win anyway because I'm black, and all that. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. That is what I'd like for me. So yeah, that's what she seemed to think. She seemed to think that her skin color was actually a helper, but it was actually a total hindrance because of her attacks on white people. White people will not stand for that anymore. They just won't. And so, honestly, that's why old JasMEAN Crockett ended up losing, because, well, she was not likable. She had no credibility. And also, of course, she was a bully. She was rude. She was mean. JasMEAN Crockett, as I've called her. And what else should I say? Oh, yeah, of course. She lacked the self-discipline and she lacked the maturity of what it takes to be a senator. So that's why she lost. Also, in regards to James Talarico, well, he ran an underdog campaign, and of course, yeah, you always root for the underdog, and that's exactly what Talarico was. But there's something I want you to understand. You got to understand that Talarico is still a Democrat. He's still a liberal, and he's still very much a gun grabber. So don't think that this is like the big red pill moment for Texas. And any of you people on YouTube who think otherwise, well, shame on you, because you need to do a deep dive into what kind of man this Talarico is. To begin with, yeah, he's a gun grabber. He is a liberal Democrat. This was a Democratic thing. And of course, he is not a conservative, never was, never will be, in spite of what these simpletons on Fox Noise or some YouTube outlets will tell you. So don't get too jazzed over this victory that Talarico scored. I mean, there's so much to this man, so much more than meets the eye, if you'll pardon me using a Transformers expression.
For a handful of pivotal primaries last night, including key races in North Carolina, Arkansas, and Texas.
Meantime, Doug Lazader joins us live from Washington with the results. Doug.
Hey, good morning, guys. A lot of races to talk about, so let's start with that Texas Senate race that attracted so much attention and money. On the Democratic side, James Talarico defeated Congresswoman JasMEAN Crockett in that hotly contested primary. In a victory speech, Talarico said he was going to take back Texas. James Talarico defeated Congresswoman JasMEAN Crockett in that hotly contested primary. In a victory speech, Talarico said he was going to take back Texas.
This movement is about whether the people will hold the power in this state and in this country. We
I mean, I admire the fact that he wanted to take Texas back from the left crazies.
Town of Round Rock, Texas. And since then, just bad comedy.
All right, JasMEAN Crockett, meantime, cited voting issues in Dallas and said that, in her words, people have been disenfranchised. Now, we don't know.
Yeah, but that's just her words. It doesn't mean anything.
The Republican race there is going to come down to a runoff in May between Senator John Cornyn and State Attorney General Ken Paxton in what has been a bruising primary. A few other races also in Texas. State Representative Steve Toth defeated Congressman Dan Crenshaw in the...
But again, the thing you need to understand is, I mean, Crenshaw lost his bid, and, well, he lost to Toth. And, of course, Crenshaw is a Republican. Toth is a Democrat. You got to remember that, because if America loses Texas to the Democrat vote, let me just straighten this out a little more. If America loses Texas to the Democrat vote, then it's over. You know, forget it. You know, the Democrats will get elected in 2020, in the 2026 midterm, get elected in the 2028 presidential election, and it'll be all over for this country. You got to understand that. And you have to understand that guys like Crenshaw turned out to be one of the biggest rhino phonies of all time. And, well, don't forget for 1 second that Talarico, he's not a conservative. He's not even a moderate. He is pretty far to the left, even further to the left than JasMEAN Crockett. Consider that. I mean, I know a lot of these simpletons, of course, as I have mentioned, either on Fox Noise or on some YouTube outlets, they're not going to consider that. But I take the time to consider that, and I think some others do too. But this is something important to remember. Even though Talarico ran the underdog campaign and won, because you always root for the underdog, don't think that he's going to do anything to bring Texas back like he said. He's a far-left, woke liberal revolutionary, so don't expect big things from Talarico.
Before we go further, I want to acknowledge that our trans community needs abortion care too.
Trans people are never going to have an abortion. What are you talking about?
And you better believe I'll be giving sermons on that too. So when I use the word woman, it should not be understood as an exhaustive term, but rather as a lens through which to understand, examine, and interrogate patriarchy. Similar to how we specify anti-black racism.
How do you balance your feelings toward ICE versus the people you would represent who support deporting undocumented immigrants? You have 30 seconds.
Illegal aliens.
So my family is from the border. My mom grew up in Laredo, Texas. I feel like Texans understand this issue of immigration more so than people in other states because we live with it, both the benefits and the challenges. So what I've said is that our southern border should be like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat out front and a lock on the door. We can welcome immigrants who want to live the American dream. We can build a pathway to citizenship.
Maybe you should put bars on the window while you're at it.
Richer and stronger, and we can keep out people who mean to do us harm.
Meanwhile,
that modern science obviously recognizes there are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6, which honestly, Representative Hefner surprised me too.
Where are you getting this shit from?
Am
there are only 2 sexes, dumbass.
I'm not a scientist. I'm a politician. A lot worse than a scientist. Trans children.
Yeah, you're a politician. You're not a scientist. So why don't you stop fucking acting like one? You're just a dumbass politician who doesn't know anything. So, yeah, stop pretending that you know more than the sciences do. The sciences are not all in.
Children are God's children, made in God's own image. There's nothing wrong with them. Nothing at all. They are perfect.
Other than the fact that they're mentally nuts.
And they are sacred. Bullying children is immoral. It's a sin. A special kind of sin.
Excuse me, it's man. It is man.
Right, so don't fall for the hype. Don't buy into the hype, okay? Don't be a fool. Because this guy's going to talk a great game about how he's a moderate and everything, but You know, it's just, you're probably going to be made to think that this guy is a smash-mouth politician, when honestly, he's a titty-baby politician. So, I mean, just like the rest of the Democrats are, and just like the rest of some of the rhinos are, and some of the neocons and war pigs, you know, i.e. Dan Crenshaw, who just lost. So, don't fall for the hype. Don't buy into it. I mean, whatever this guy says, this James Talarico, he's not a conservative. He's not even a moderate. He's not a middle of the road kind of guy, let's say. This guy, of course, is a leftist, pure and simple. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. And don't let guys like the Empty Hoodie or Fox Noise or Dr. Optimism lie to you about that, because a centrist, a middle-of-the-roader, Talarico ain't. Okay, this has been the Robazoid saying, okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video and all that shit. And remember, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and also do the same thing over on my Rumble channel. It is still called Robazoid. Over here at YouTube, it is known best as @Robbie1976. So, hope you got your info. I hope you got your nickel's worth of free advice worth. And let's just say that, yeah, Talarico, you're not a conservative, you're not a centrist, you're not a middle-of-the-roader, you're not even a traditional American, and you're certainly not a Christian. Kind of reminds me of the Stones song, Sweet Neocon, with its refrain, you say that you're a Christian, I say that you're a hypocrite, and all that stuff. So, yeah, just don't fall for the hype. That's all we ask. Be here or be nowhere else.